In this video we will see how to create a carousel. As you can see on the screen, there is a very beautiful looking carousel and it is changing by itself on 3 seconds. Okay, so we will see exactly how to do that. And also there are two buttons, the previous and next button. So if you just click on that, the images also change. Okay, and it is an infinite loop, so there are 4 images and it just continue to looping itself. Okay, so we will see exactly how to make this. So let's get started. Okay, all right guys, so let's start the tutorial. And first of all, what we need is a boilerplate. So here it is. And then let me just add a style tag and a script tag, because we will need them in later. Okay, and first of all let's do the HTML part. And before doing that, let me show you the 4 images which we will be using. Okay, so this is the one, and this and the last one is this. Okay, so these are the 4 images which we will be using for our carousel. Okay, and one more time I want to tell you that it will be an infinite carousel and it also changes itself at every 3 seconds. Okay, the time, it's depend on you, whatever you want the time to change. Okay, so it depends on you. Okay, so let's just do the HTML part. So first of all I will just create a div and I will give this ID of, let's say, bigger count, which will be our big img count. Okay, this means a bigger container inside which another div will be there, and this will be just container. Okay, the image container, inside which our 4 images will be there. Okay, all right, and here I will just insert 4 img tags. All right, and let me just do this so that they are all in one line. Let me just add IDs. Let's say img0, and not all of them. This will be img2, img, and this will be img3. Yes, and now let's add the tag here, the src here, and this will be this thing, then I think this, then I think this. All right, so our images are ready, and now we need our previous and next buttons. For that, let me just create a div and the ID will be btns. Okay, because there are 2 buttons, and inside that I will create another div. I will tell you why later on. And now for the buttons, you can just go to this awesome website called Font Awesome. Okay, so just click on the first link and open the website, and here click on the search icon, and you can search for any icons you want. So I will just search for arrow, double R. Okay, and here I just search one, and we will use these arrows. Okay, so let me just copy them, and yes, just like that. Okay, this thing, and I will just copy that down, and instead of left I will just write right. Okay, and then I have to give them an ID. So let's say previous, and this one will be next, just like that. All right, and also let's give them ID of btn, not ID, a class, which we will be needing in some time. Okay, let's see what our website is looking like. And we have not done any styling yet, so it will look awful, and as you can see here, it is not looking very good. Okay, but we have our 4 images, and where are these arrows? We will just find them later, no worries. All right, okay, now let's do some styling. So first of all, as you all know, the margin and padding for all the elements will be 0. Okay, to just eliminate that extra gaps from the sides. Okay, and then we will do that later. No, in the body I will just say overlay X will be hidden. Okay, so um we cannot see the X overlay. Okay, and now let's target the img big count. Okay, let's do that. Let's do the display grid and then place items in the center. Why is that? To center all the elements. Okay, it is the way to center all your elements inside a div. And one more thing, let's say the width will be 100 VW. Okay, and yes, and now let's target our img count, which is the smaller count, which is inside the big count. Okay, I will say let's give um, oops, let's give it a border of let's say 10 pixel solid white. All right, and one more thing, let's give it a width of 700 pixel. Okay, so this width will define the width of our carousel. Okay, so the width of our carousel will be 700 pixel. Okay, and then that's it. Let's do the display flex. Okay, and now let's target our buttons. Okay, the previous and next button. I will just say display grid, the same thing I have done before, and place items center. Okay, the same thing to place the items at the center. All right, and now let's target the btn class which I have given there. I will just say filter will be invert. Why is that? To invert the color. Okay, as you can see here, the color of buttons will be black. In this, as you can see, the color of buttons are black, but as soon as I apply the filter invert, the color will be white. Okay, now let's say a transform and I want them a little bigger. All right, let's say 4, then cursor will be pointer, and I know I have doing a lot of work, so let's save them and see our this thing. And as you can see here, they are all on top of each other. Okay, so there are not any images we can see here. We will just fix them later. All right, now let's target our images. Okay, so for all the images. All right, let's say width will be the same. Okay, 700 pixel. All right, and now we can target our individual images, so that which will be on top. Okay, so I will just give this z index of 103. Then let's target our next image. The z index will be 1 less than. Okay, and what else we can do here? We can also okay, so one thing I want to show you, as soon as I just as you can see, all the images are in one line, as you can see here. Okay, and yes, and to eliminate that, okay, to bring them on top of each other, we can just do this. Okay, the position of image 1 will be relative, and from left, all right, from left we can do minus 700 pixels, so it will be on top of the first image. So as you can see here, the second image is gone, and it is just behind this image. Okay, and we have to do the same for these two. So let's do that. I will just copy this 2 times. Okay, just like that, and this will be image 2, image 3, and the z index for this will be 101, and this will be 100, and this will be minus 1400, and this will be minus 2100. And just like that, you will see that all the images are now gone, and they are all behind this one picture. Okay, so yes, this is exactly what we want here. And now what we can do, we can just target some our buttons. Okay, so let's target our previous button. All right, let's target previous, then let's say position relative, and top, let's say minus 260 pixel, so that it will be on the center. Let's say z index of this, and from left, let's say minus 300 pixel, and I will just copy this thing for the next button also, but the left one will be positive. And if we see now, we cannot see our buttons. Okay, and for that what we can do, first of all we have to make them in the center. Okay, all the images we have to do in the center. So alright guys, so I have found the mistake what I have done, and it is just a silly mistake. You know, oops, just cancel that. What I was saying, in order to use the font awesome, we also have to include a script tag. Okay, so I have just copied that, and we will just paste it here. Okay, so this is the script tag, and now if I just save, now as you can see here, these are our buttons. Okay, so yes, now it is working. And now what we want all the elements to be in center. All right, we want all of that to be in center. Let me see what is the problem here, why this thing is not working. Let's do some transition, all linear 0.3 second. Wait man, what is the problem here? Why img big can't? I must given the oops. All right, okay. And okay guys, so I have found the mistake, and I have corrected the ID name, and now you will see all the images are in now center. Okay, so our styling part is also done, and the only thing left is the most important part, which is to apply some JavaScript. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so first of all I will just declare some variables. Document dot get element by ID. I will say previous. Okay, so I'll just copy that down. Next. Okay, and I will just copy 4 more times for our images. Okay, this will be img0, img1, img2, img3. Alright, this thing, this thing, this thing, this will be 0, 1, 2, just like that. Okay, so now I have defined the variables. Now let me explain you how we can change the images by clicking on this button. Okay, so what we will do, we will declare a variable called sum. You can call it whatever you want, but I have called it as sum. And what we can do, whenever someone click on this next button, I will just say the sum will increase by 1. Okay, the which means sum is equal to sum plus 1. And when someone click on this previous button, then sum will be equal to sum minus 1. And why we will do that? And because then we can just say if the sum is 1, then the second image will appear. If the sum is 3, the third image is appear. If the sum is 4, the fourth image will appear. Okay, just like that. And then if the sum is more than 4, then we can just repeat, just declare the sum to be 0 again. Okay, so that it will just repeat itself. Okay, then it will be an infinite loop. So let's just do that. Now what I want, let's add a add event listener. Not add event listener, we can just make an on click. You know what, just add an add event listener, just like that. I'll just copy this here. Okay, paste it here, click function. Alright, and inside that what we will do, as I have said, we will just do sum minus 1. Why minus 1? Because it is a previous button. Alright, and then document dot get element by id, and then img count. What I am doing here is just adding a transition. Okay, here to make the transition smooth. Okay, yeah, this is just for that only. And I will just copy that down for the next button. Okay, yes, just like that. And all of the things will be same, and here the sum will be sum plus 1. Okay, because it is a next button. All right, and now the main part, the logic. Okay, what in what time we want our images to change. Okay, so if sum equals 0, okay, which is the default number. Okay, which is as you can see here, the sum is already 0. So if the sum is 0, what we want our image 0 and our style, and then we will change the opacity of that one. Alright, so as I was saying, now we have to copy that 3 more times to also declare the opacity of all the other images to be 0. Okay, and the image what, the 1 will be 0, 2 will be 0, and 3 also. Okay, and now we will just copy that down 3 more times. So 1, 2, 3 more times. Okay, and now this will be when the sum is 1. When the sum is 1, the second image, the opacity of second image will be 1, and this will be 0. And if the sum is 2, the opacity of third image will be 1, and everyone else will be 0. And same goes for the last image, the opacity of fourth image will be 1, and here if the sum is 3. Alright, and in order to loop that images, to make an infinite loop, what we will do, we will just another if, and we will say if sum equal to 4. Alright, if someone just click another time, we will just say sum is equal to what? Sum is equal to 0. Alright, and same thing, I'll just copy it down. Same thing, if the sum is -1, we will say the sum is 3, and that's it. And one more thing, we have to write all these if statement inside and set interval, because we want to run this function every second. Okay, just like that. And now if you will see, our carousel will be ready. Okay, so let me just click here, and as you can see here, how beautiful it is looking, and the transition is also working. Okay, so as you can see here, the transition is also looking very beautiful. And this is the last image. Okay, so now if I just click again, you will see that the first image will appear. So let's do that, and as you can see here, the first image will appear. And if I just click them like this, you can see here the infinite loop is also ready. So yes guys, this is how you can create a very good looking carousel. And few more things we can do here. First of all, the arrow is not visible. Okay, so I will just do the filter invert, and now the color of arrows will be white, as you can see here, and now it is looking great. Okay, and one more thing, I have told you that we also have to make the images to slide on its own. Okay, but now it is not. We can just do that by adding a single set interval. Okay, like just one set interval and one line of code. And what is that? I will just come here and do set interval and run a function, and what time we want in every 3000 milliseconds, which is equal to 3 seconds. Okay, so we want in every 3 seconds the sum will be sum plus 1, and that's it guys. This is the only thing we have to do to make our carousel automatically going. And if we just reload them now, wait 3 seconds, and as you can see here, it is just changing by itself, and you can see the arrow is here. Okay, the my arrow is here, and it is just changing by itself. And if you ask what happened if I just click this arrow, so we can also change by our hand also. Okay, by our arrow also, by clicking on this button. Okay, and it will also change by itself. And this is the video guys. I hope you like the video, and I hope you learn how to make a carousel. Okay, and if you like the tutorial, give it a thumbs up. And that's it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one.